you go to a nightclub.
Yeah.
Could you find a guy to sleep with if you go out to a nightclub in Australia? With certainty.
I don't think so.
Come on.
Stop the cap.
Come on.
I'm telling you, I don't think so.
You don't think that you could go to a nightclub?
You need to book a trip to Australia. You need to. You need to see.
Aren't Australians loose? You think if you went to a nightclub in Melbourne, a fine, young, strapping Australian lad would not take you home? Guys, okay, do you go out, do you do nightlife in Australia?
No, not much.
Okay, well, let's say you did.
Mm-hmm.
Have you done it before?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Do you get hit on when you go out? Do guys come up to you?
Not as much as here or Brazil. Like it requires a lot of signals from me. Like a lot, which I'm not used to because I'm Brazilian, and in Brazil it's like the guy comes up, and yeah, I'm raised like that. So
I feel like Australians are pretty heavy partiers. Like they're pretty loose.
They are.
Yeah.
They get pretty drunk.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of fun. But
yeah.
I don't think I've ever been approached by a guy in Australia, like in a bar.
How long have you been in Australia?
7 years.
Have you been approached in the street? You've never been approached in a bar?
I can't really remember. Maybe I have.
Stop the cap.
So have you?
Maybe I have, but it's just not the same as. It's not the same as here. It's not the same as in Brazil as well. I mean, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's just different.
Wait, how long have you been in the U.S.?
I've lived here before, by the way. I've lived here for a year and a half when I was 21.
But when did you come to the U.S.? You're traveling, I know.
Yeah, for my traveling, November this year.
You've been here since November?
No, November, and then I left and I came back now.
When did you come back?
Just a week ago. Yeah, last week.
When you were here in November, or when you've been here now for the past week, have you hooked up with any guys?
I was seeing that guy in November. That was the last person that I was seeing.
In Australia?
In the US. November.
We talked about it in the beginning of the show.
I have a shit memory.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying that it's what are you trying to say?
Oh, I'm lost now.
I feel like she's probably trying to say, tell me if I'm wrong, that men in the States are way more, like they approach women a lot more than maybe in Australia.
Yes, that's true.
So you were saying that men don't complain about women in Australia having too many options.
That is what started it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how it started. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I don't know if there's any Australian guys in the chat, but I would suspect it's fairly similar.
I don't think so. I mean, it's not
because
there's nothing wrong.
the dynamic between men and women is fairly universal. Okay, men chase women, generally speaking.
Yes, but in some countries they're literally not allowed to come up to you. My sister's in the UAE, and they cannot come up to you.
Middle Eastern countries, obviously it's a bit different, but Australia is a English-speaking Western country. So and there's a pretty heavy party culture in Australia. So look, I've never been to Australia.
That might be my experience only. I don't know.
You obviously must have more expertise than I do. I've never been to Australia. I don't know the dating meta in Australia, but
I think it has to do with the ways that you guys are brought up here as well. I think American men, that's my opinion, again, I don't know, but I think American men are raised by strong women, but also like you guys are raised to eventually have a family. Australians are men and women. I don't think they have that desire
to have families.
Yeah, just to sort of like to develop something, to have a family and stuff like that. I don't think I don't think Australians in general have it. I might be wrong. I don't know, but the culture here is a little bit more up for it. I don't know.